Hello friends, this is an annual horoscope for Pisces. More precisely, this is a 2019 year horoscope for those who have Sun, Ascendant and Moon in Aquarius sign. The question is which video you should look at if you have Sun in Pisces, Ascendant for example in Gemini and Moon in Aquarius. So if it is so, then you should watch all of those three videos. But this video will maybe say a lot to those who have, first of all, to those who have ascendant in Pisces. But to a certain degree, of course, is useful for others as well, with those who have Sun or Moon in Pisces. You can also watch my general overview video that is already on YouTube. The name is Year 2019, Just Another Step. You will see there that the year 2019 is a preparation for the events that will happen in the year 2020. And it is so because in the year 2020 there are going to happen three big conjunctions, as we call them in astrology, in the sign of Capricorn. And this will symbolize big shifts for all of us as individuals and for the humanity as well. Maybe not all of the individuals will feel these conjunctions the same way. Some people will actually not react on them. But three big conjunctions in Capricorn sign are symbols of huge changes that are happening in political area and in the sphere of among those ruling structures, among those who rule the world. Most probably new power will appear and rule the world in the future since 2020 and on. In this video I am not going to talk generally about the year 2019. We will speak more about Pisces people. But I would like to mention here that we live in the world that polarizes more and more. And by saying that, I do not mean of political polarization or the polarization or sharing of territories. That is also in a certain way happening. But this is actually the result of another polarization that I would like to mention here. And I mainly think of the polarization between mind and consciousness. And by saying that, I'm saying that each individual will now have to choose between manipulation, and that one is connected with the mind, and truth, written with big letter T, and that is connected with the consciousness. And this is actually something that is happening on the level of being for individuals and on microplane also. So to analyze things with the mind and to be manipulated and to manipulate with others, this is lower level of being. There is a higher level of being. This is the level of consciousness. And there are extremely many people who are going towards this area and who want to develop this area of being. And it is actually happening naturally in today's time as the whole world experiences some similar process. Pardon. So in this context, we definitely need to understand ourselves better. We need that in any time, of course. And astrology can be a useful instrument for that. But what I'm saying in those videos for the year 2019 is basically that astrology is only a map. You can use astrology if you need to understand better yourself or events that are happening around you. But I'm just reminding you that finally everything depends on you. So you should decide how to use, and you are deciding how to use your inner potentials and how you will react on certain transits. So let's see what Pisces people can expect in the year 2019. Which area of their life will be the most important and what is going to happen generally with them. Pisces people have Jupiter in the 10th astrological house. And 10th astrological house is the cardinal house. So whenever we have there a transit of some benefic, Jupiter is benefic, big benefic. So it means brings luck and good opportunities. So whenever some benefic travels through the 10th astrological house, we have the opportunity to manifest something that we always wanted to do. So yes, many Pisces people have the opportunity to achieve some great success, basically in any area of life, even if this is happening in the 10th astrological house. Everything that happens in cardinal houses influences the rest of the horoscope. So Pisces people can maybe improve their social status, can achieve something better in their job, can have better career for now on, maybe can attract help and support from others, especially from authorities or people who are well positioned in their job in the society and so on. As the 10th house is the house of parents, it can be help of one of the parents or maybe some support, or maybe Piscean people have the opportunity to, in some way, to improve their relationship with parents or with one parent at least. And for Pisces people who are adults already, this can mean that they are ready to be responsible not only for themselves but for others as well. So they can become leaders and they can inspire or lead other people. So this is actually very good transit if Piscean people are looking for some recognition or they want to achieve something more in their career. But it is not only about career. It is about that what they expect from life, and it is more about that what they believe in. Now they have the opportunity to see what do they believe in, what makes sense for them, and what will lead them in the future, which idea will lead them in the future, which position they will have to go into new projects in the future. When I'm saying project, I mean generally life plans. We only use this word a lot today. It should not be maybe that way. But there is another thing. So, Jupiter is important for Pisces because this is their old ruler. A new ruler of Pisces is planet Neptune. And Neptune is in Pisces since the year 2011, and it will stay there until the year 2026. It's extremely long transit of Neptune in Pisces that influences Pisces people strongly. Yes, that's the planet that rules Pisces people, but it is very hard to manage this energy, as this is the energy of the super planet. So basically, we can't integrate the energy of super planets if we are not well integrated personality, let's say. So some Piscean people have troubles with Neptune in their sign, and this Neptune will make a square to Jupiter that we were talking about. So Neptune in the first house in Pisces and Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 10th. It can be fantastic. It can be excellent transit and help many Piscean people to reach the highest point in their life. But also, everything depends on that if they are able to overcome obstacles that they create for themselves. Most probably they create for themselves. So maybe they want a lot, but they're not ready to achieve all of those things. We don't know what we can achieve. Perhaps we can achieve absolutely everything that we want, but square shows that something is wrong. There are some problems. Are you sabotaging yourself in some way? Are you creating your own problems? Or what can be, I think this is maybe the most important thing, you don't know yourself well enough. You still do not know yourself enough, and that's why maybe you can't achieve what you want, and maybe that's what you should really work on. It is to understand yourself better and to start functioning in accord with Neptunian energy. And Neptunian energy wants from Piscean people to be more open for the spiritual life, to understand better that they mediate some sort of energy. And many Piscean people have, with this Neptune especially, talent to heal others. So are you refusing maybe those talents and possibilities because you want to go on with old profession or something, or you're afraid of these heights or something? Yeah, you shouldn't be afraid, of course, if you do not know how to use these energies. But of course, you can study how to use it, and you can work on that how to mediate the energy that is coming, and that, by that way, help others as well, in any sense. In these videos, of course, we speak generally. For if you want these things in detail, of course, you have to order your horoscope, and then we can have consultations and speak in details about those things. So what is a good thing? Good thing is that Saturn makes sextile to that Neptune that Piscean people have in the first astrological house. So Saturn can be useful because it can tell you, yes, you have some borders and you know about them and you respect them, and then you do things from that position. Saturn also says this is realistic. Neptune and Jupiter do not know what is realistic, but Saturn can help you, can see what is realistic in this situation and what is not realistic. So, yes, there are certain borders which maybe you will not really like, but they're useful for you and you should know where they are. So many things are happening for Piscean people in their 11th astrological house. They have Pluto in the 11th house for a certain period of time already. From the end of the year 2017, Saturn is there. And now in 2018, the South Lunar Node entered this area. So while South Node is in the 11th house, together with Saturn and Pluto, North Node is in the 5th astrological house for Piscean people. North Node is Rahu and South Node is Ketu in Indian astrology. So many planets, and not really the best ones, are in the astrological house, and that is showing that many Piscean people have struggles in the last years with the society they live in. If they have political ambitions, maybe they were even involved in bad things, in things that we should not do. Maybe because of other co-workers, because of other groups that they are connected with. So be very careful if you're Piscean and you're involved in politics with these transits. At one point, maybe in this period 2019 or 2020, there can be that you pay for something that you did, and maybe price can be very high. If you're not involved in politics, maybe it can be that you're disappointed with friends. Maybe you're involved in some bad groups of people, you meet them or you know them through internet, or you are maybe on the internet too much involved in these negative predictions and negative and scary descriptions that we are facing there about about this world, about the fights of the power and so on. So if you are too much involved in this and this influences you a lot, then maybe it is the time that you stop being connected with such people, such groups of people, pardon, or you do not rely anymore on those contacts and information that you're getting from them, and then you turn towards yourself. You're going towards the 5th astrological house, and you are maybe there doing things for yourself. Also can be another thing with this planet in the 11th house, can be that some Piscean people have a problem to be accepted in some groups of people, to belong to some people that they would like to, but those people do not understand them, or they don't respect them. If you want to be respected by others, then the best thing for you will be, again, to turn towards the 5th astrological house. So you should do something that is special, that is authentic, that it is yours. And then you bring this to others, and then they respect you. You need to do something and create something that is authentic if you wish to be somebody in the society or among others. With this active 5th astrological house, for many Piscean people, can be that they suddenly decide to invest money into something, and I don't know if those investments will be good. They're possible. Then it can be also for those who have children. For them, it's time to turn towards their children, to understand their children better, and maybe to give something to their children. Maybe it is the time that you give to your children I don't know, you give help, you give money, you support them somehow, it is this if you do this, there is no, you will not make mistake. Do whatever your kids need from you. And of course, with this very active fifth astrological house can be that Piscean people are fall in love with somebody, because this is the house of love. So the question is, if you want to run away from troubles that are in the 11th house, coming through others, then maybe it is the time for you to see what do you love, who you love, and maybe to open your heart for a new person, for example. This axis, a very active axis, 11th and 5th astrological house, can also mean if you expected some money to come from you, or if you expected that some kind of recognition should come from you, and it is not coming, then it can be because you did not do what was expected. I mean, maybe you think that it is enough, but the universe says not. So then you will learn about those things. But I think that some recognition or some money will come as the result of your activities in previous years. In some form it will come, I guess. So we were mentioning here lunar nodes, and those lunar nodes are of course tightly connected with the eclipses. And we are going to have 3 eclipse seasons in the year 2019. First in January, then in July, and then in December 2019. It's a very dynamic year. You will have only one eclipse that will influence this 5th astrological house. This is the area of love, kids, and self-realization. So there is one there. There is one important there. This is going to be, the eclipse will happen on the 2nd of July, on the 10th degree of Cancer. This can be the time when you suddenly fall in love or something. But you can react also on this eclipse many months later. And there is the last eclipse in the 6th astrological house for Piscean people. It means there is one thing more that they need to learn about, that how they behave on a daily basis, about eating, sleeping, working too much or not enough, these kind of things. Something a little bit more should be done there. And then that's all. And then majority of eclipses will happen in the Capricorn sign in the 11th astrological house. And we said what that can mean. So yes, there you will learn a lot through this 11th astrological house. 11th astrological house is the house of Aquarius. And this is also a house of widening consciousness. So it can also mean that if you are having obstacles in your life, it can be because of that you remind in this you understand yourself in a way that there is no growth there. You think that you know yourself, that you learn about yourself enough, and you're not ready to work more on yourself in that context, that you integrate this let's say subconscious material that connects you with others actually. So widening of the consciousness, it is one of the key things for Piscean people in the next year. And yes, we mentioned that Neptune is in the first astrological house. Neptune in the first house, of course, can be very interesting for all of those who are interested in healing, in spiritual life, who meditate, pray, who feel that they are part of a bigger world, part of the universe, and feel that, there is sort of energy that is coming to them, they mediate it, and they learn really a lot. This is very mystical even transit. If you have, if you're interested in this, even if you're not, life will somehow push all Piscean people to be. If you refuse this your inner life, or let's say spiritual life, then maybe can be that you start drinking too much, smoking too much, taking drugs, taking pills or something like that, which is of course only bad substitution for this inner spiritual life, spiritual growth, accepting that you have knowledge for healing and this kind of things, you know. So better to accept those energies than to work against them, of course. Then Uranus is interesting. Uranus is in the third astrological house for Piscean people, and will change their financial situation, to their relationship with maybe close people, with brothers and sisters. It will change their values, especially will change the way how they communicate with others. Maybe until now they were respecting people who have rational view on life, and now it will be opposite. They will respect more those who are not saying anything and who are emitting energy and communicate on a non-verbal way, or maybe it will be opposite, you know. But there are changes in this communication style of communication, let's say. And that's all about for Piscean people for now. I mentioned here many other transits, and I can't describe them in details because this video in that case would be too long. So if you're interested in other transits, please have a look at my other videos that are on YouTube already. So there are two videos about Jupiter in Sagittarius. One is a general overview, and the second one is for each astrological sign. Then there is a video about Saturn in Capricorn. This is very important transit. Then there is a video about Uranus in Taurus, actually 3 videos about Uranus in Taurus. Then there is a video about Neptune in Pisces. Have a look at this video, that's very important for Piscean people. Then video about lunar nodes on the Cancer Capricorn axis, and also mention video about the year 2019. So during the next year, or now, whenever you want, you can watch those videos, but I'm only reminding you should watch them and and perceive this, what I'm talking about, more intuitively than rationally. If you're interested in consultations, you can of course order consultations with me. On my web page is symbolicthinking.net. You'll see that I offer consultancy based on astrology, and there is astropsychology, spiritual astrology, and I also offer some audio recordings. So we can talk, or I can record things for you. Then I offer a consultancy based on Feng Shui and Thetahealing. I recommend Thetahealing very much to all of you because it is a fantastic new method that removes blockages that we have. And of course I recommend also Feng Shui, that many Western people do not really understand. This is Chinese art of managing the energy of the environment. It can be very useful, and it should be part of our life, you know. We should work on ourselves and on our environment at the same time. So that's all for now. If you like the video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Follow my posts on Facebook. We can connect to Facebook as well if you want. And to all Piscean people, I wish to be successful with Jupiter and generous with active 5th astrological house.